Trick Williams is officially a babyface, and to be quite honest with you, he's like one feud or one storyline away from becoming the face of SmackDown, if not WWE as a whole, because holy cow, did those people cheer the crap out of him tonight. And you might say, oh, he was in his hometown. Now, honestly, I'm feeling it too. Everyone I talk to feels it as well. Trick Williams is just gaining more momentum. I would say that, like, no matter where he would have been at tonight, the people would have been whooping that Trick, but also cheering him. It's like, I am just shocked. He pretty much cut the same promo that Cody Rhodes cuts when he's in his hometown. You know, I used to travel these streets. I used to eat at that restaurant. I went to this school. Hey, I love you, Mom, in the crowd. And when Cody does it, and don't get me wrong, actually, Cody had a really good night tonight, too. I was entertained by Cody, but when Cody cuts that promo, it's like, all right, Cody, let's get on to what's your point? Let's go. But when Trick Williams does it, I'm like, what? And then what? I was hanging on every single word of Trick tonight. In fact, he gave the origin story of his lemon pepper steppers, and I was thoroughly sports entertained. I'm not gonna lie. I guess he used to go to get some Trickin' and waffles, and he got like the sauce. The sauce would fall on his shoes, and he'd be like, and from that day forward, they were my lemon pepper steppers. I'm like, it makes so much sense. I always wondered, I was like, what are lemon pepper steppers? What is that? And oh my gosh, so funny, so hilarious. Love Trick Williams, and I love this belt on my shoulder, and you can love it too if you win it. I'm going to give away this belt in a contest at 30,000 subscribers. I'm going to give it away. All you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel, and you can win this belt right here. I actually gave away a belt at 20,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to get the video footage up of me mailing everything out in the next day or two. But yes, if you want to win it, you can. All you got to do is comment and subscribe. 30,000, give it away. Free shipping, free anywhere in the world. It's not a toy. It's a replica. All right, so yeah, Trick Williams then. He's he's in the ring, he's cutting his promo, love you, Mom, and then The Miz and Danhausen come out. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this booking. It didn't ruin everything for me by no means, but Miz and Kit Wilson, they come out. Kit Wilson, he's hilarious. He has it looks like a man purse, but it's his diary or something, his journal, and he has a slam poetry off with Little Yachty. He's great too. He gets a celebrity pass in my book. He adds to Trick Williams' presentation without stealing the spotlight like a Pat McAfee or a Jelly Roll would. And we have they trade barbs, I guess, and then we go into a Miz versus Trick Williams match. I honestly think we should have done Trick Williams versus Kit Wilson tonight, or a tag match, Miz, Kit Wilson versus Little Yachty versus Trick Williams, or somehow, some way, but not Miz and Trick. I would have rather Miz and Trick either happen next week, or even more ideally at a Saturday Night's Main Event, or Clash in Italy. I think that should have got, that's a bigger deal. The Miz, fine, he can lose. It was right for him to lose to Trick Williams, but can we show him the respect of a bigger spotlight at least? I feel like the Miz is still a big deal. Or he could be a big deal if we allowed him to be a big deal. He's entertaining. He got the Danhausen stuff was great. I loved it. But let's still give him some matches. I'm you get what I'm saying? Just Trick was the right winner, but we could have done more with this. But yes, Trick Williams, he wins. The crowd is going crazy, and I'm going crazy. I'm all in on Trick Williams. Unfortunately, Royce Keys is going to lose tonight, but let's not talk about that yet, because the next matchup was Paige and oh, by the way, this is my one take, one shot SmackDown review where I do it immediately following SmackDown, so you get my raw reaction. Can't steal borrow my ideas like I borrow the screenshots for the hot takes. You're a real one if you get that joke. Yeah. So, anyways, it was Paige and Brie Mode versus Kiana James and the Beautiful Madness, Julia. This match was like whatever. Like, it feels like Brie and Nikki and Brie Bella and Paige are doing an open challenge without saying it's an open challenge. If somebody says, I want a shot at you, they're like, okay, cool, let's go. And, they're fighting champions, but at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like anything. Back in the day, Bret Hart would fight any challenger, right? But like, somehow, some way, you knew the 1-2-3 Kid was not going to beat Bret Hart, but it still felt like, oh my God, can he? Is it possible? Like, it still felt like there was some urgency to the matches. When I've been watching lately the women's tag team matches, it doesn't feel like there's urgency here at all. And I don't understand why Fatal Influence didn't come out and ruin the show this week for everybody. They were backstage, but they just decided to not do anything. But you will have Brie Bella and Paige will win the match, and we will further this storyline, I guess, of the dissension between Kiana and Julia. So maybe in about 3.5 years, we can have ourselves a random match on SmackDown where they blow off this feud, and then one of them will get released by TKO for budget cuts, saying, well, you didn't get over, but they were just stuck in a 3-year feud. I digress. What else happened tonight? Sami Zayn. Sami's so funny. I'm a ride or die. Sami has 3 fans right now, and I'm one of them. I'm not going to lie. I am just digging the Sami character. He goes up to Nick Aldis. Man, Nick, I regret what I did. I need another matchup so I can prove to my ride or dies that I'm the moral one here. And Nick's like, no, you can't do that. You're back at the end of the line. And then Sami's going to be talking to Johnny Gargano, who's just, comatose right now. He's like, what happened, man? Wrestling used to matter. I love delusional Sami. It's so funny. And you want to know who's like, what's sad delusional? Carmelo Hayes. He's like, I'm back. While I was gone, I could hear the We Want Mello stuff. And the fans weren't chanting We Want Mello. We should not have taken him off TV. That was such a poor move. Joe Tez was like, oh, it was such a good move that he went home and rest after his U.S. challenge. No, you don't. Carmelo Hayes had the most momentum he ever had when he by the time he lost that U.S. title to Sami Zayn and stuff, and then we took him off TV. He has cooled down completely. We should have had him on TV every single week. Steve Austin broke his neck, and he still showed up to work because he was afraid that his character would cool down, and we should have kept Carmelo Hayes like every single week. Now, he does seem like, Carmelo Hayes seems like a tweener right now, though, because first off, him and Ricky Saints, they kind of they kind of get at each other. But Carmelo Hayes had a good couple one-liners. I think Ricky was like, oh, while you were gone, some new tenants came in town. And then Carmelo was like, yeah, well, I'm the landlord. Time to pay rent. So I like that one. They will have a match later. And unfortunately, there were a lot of botches. in this matchup. I do feel there was good recovery. And they made it seem seamless, because in reality, there are going to be mistakes. If this was, legit and stuff, which it is, then mistakes do happen. And when they made their mistake, it didn't seem like they went right into just retrying it. The match continued, they called a couple of audibles, then they went back to the sequence. So I did appreciate that. And, look at me. I definitely couldn't do better than them. I'm not here saying that, oh, what a bunch of lazy slobs those wrestlers are, while I'm the lazy slob. No. I understand. Stuff happens. So what was interesting here, though, was Ricky Saints put his foot on the ropes to win, and the referee was like, can't do that. And so then we have Carmelo Hayes kind of almost within 30 seconds, he then gets a pin on Ricky Saints, but he puts his foot on the ropes. So Carmelo Hayes was being a babyface, but that was a heel thing to do. However, the heel introduced the concept of cheating, so it's okay for Carmelo, but like I said, Carmelo Hayes is kind of like a tweener right now, and that's good. I don't need these white meat baby faces. So, and like I said, and it was Ricky Saints that started it. Now the thing about that though is it a good idea for Ricky Saints to have lost 2 out of his 3 opening matches since coming to SmackDown? Like, and the only person he's beat right now is Matt Cardona. I know there are Zack Ryder fans out there and stuff, and no disrespect, but Zack Ryder is not something to really hang your hat on as future main eventer. Ricky Saints, it's like, begrudgingly, I'm like, okay, no shame in losing to the champion Cody Rhodes, but like, you've lost 2 out of 3 times now? Like, what? Like, why should I really be like taking Ricky Saints' interest or seriously? You better get him into a legit program real soon. You can lose if you're in a good storyline, right? You can lose if you're in a good storyline, but Ricky Saints is not in any storyline and he's losing. That's a bad, deadly combo even. We have, so then we have Cody Rhodes. This was interesting, okay? Now, Roman Reigns would never do something like this, but Cody, he comes out, he throws some chairs in the rings, and he sets up the table. And I was like, I've never seen this before. And when I've never seen something, after 37 years of watching wrestling, a lot of times I'm like, okay, yeah, at least got my attention. And I didn't hate it. He literally sets up a contract signing, and he sets it all up, and kind of cool because, Cody Rhodes tries to present himself, or he should try to present himself as a man of the people, a common man, like his father. I'm just a common man, working hard with my hands, Dusty Rhodes. And so he sets up the tables and everything, and I don't know if it was that deep, but like, I'm gonna make it that deep. So interesting right there. And he's like, come on, Gunther, let's go. Gunther comes out and he's like, you know how long it took me to set this up? So much foresight, which is stupid because Cody Rhodes will literally take on any challenger. So for you to use your favor to get a matchup at Cody, all you had to do was put him in the sleeper and he would have accepted. And don't say, oh, well, Gunther just wanted to be on SmackDown. Why? Because, Jacob is literally a SmackDown guy fighting for a Raw title, so the brand split doesn't matter. So this was dumb on Gunther's part. But that said, Gunther then starts trolling Cody. He's like, if you want me, you gotta say please. And then Cody's like, please come in here so I can beat your butt. And he's like, I don't think you meant it. But then this made me like, this was interesting because I wasn't expecting it. I love when I don't expect things and it makes sense. So then Royce Keys comes out. He comes out, beelines it. He's like, I'll do it. And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't somebody just come out and do it? And I'm like, I don't think contracts work like that, Royce, because, I'm sure Gunther's name is on it. But then Cody's like, all right, go for it. So that might have legitimized it, but then Gunther comes in and like, no, I want it. Kind of like that spoiled kid who didn't want to play with a toy until somebody else wanted to play with it. But I liked that this is smart on Royce Keys' part. I liked that Royce Keys was like, I'll just go. What the heck? Now, I would have imagine if he did that to Obafemi on Monday Night Raw. He's just like, what the heck? I'll do it. But yeah, he beelines it, and then him and Gunther, Royce and Gunther start getting at each other's throat. Then Nick Aldis comes out and is like, all right, Gunther, you wasted my time, and now we're gonna do this. Number 1 contenders match tonight for the number 1 contendership match against Cody Rhodes. And Gunther's like, you can't do that. And Nick is like, yeah, well, you shouldn't have been playing games. So now we got a big match. And I'm like, ooh, how are we going to get ourselves out of this? And then Solo goes up to Royce and says, you need help? And I'm like, oh, okay. Solo's going to cost Royce because Royce refused Solo's help. I'm like, that's what's going to happen. So then, but it does get Royce Keys in the conversation of main eventers. He's in the main event with Gunther. That's no slouch right there. But as Bishop Marley does point out, don't forget, Malachi Black was beating Randy Orton in the main event just 2 or 3 months ago. So good positioning, good upward movement for Royce, but let's not, he's not out of the woods yet when it comes to his push. And we will see, though, that there are some questionable decisions with Royce Keys tonight once he does get into that main event. But we have Shinsuke Nakamura. He tries to talk to Tama Tonga again. Like, how long has this storyline been going on? It's like, what is here? Just do something with them. In fact, Tama Tonga has even beat Shinsuke one time, like months ago. Why is Shinsuke still talking to Tama Tonga like he is? But we do have, what's his name? The tall one, Tama Tonga. He beats up Shinsuke. And then they will have a matchup with Tama Tonga. Will have a matchup with Damian Priest. He will have a matchup with Damian Priest. Damian Priest will... Does Damian Priest win? I think Damian Priest wins. But then he gets beat up afterwards. R-Truth couldn't come out because he's like legit hurt this time. But it was funny because Damian Priest pulled a Rhea Ripley on Io Sky and was like, you need to stay back here so I know you're safe. And then he walks away and then Truth is like, I love you. I thought that was funny. And Truth is trying to recruit Royce Keys for Judgment Day 2000, which is hilarious because in the year 2000, 1999 and 2000, everybody became 2000. Legion of Doom 2000, NWO 2000. So for R-Truth to do that, who was around in WWE in the year 2000, I believe, it was hilarious that he did that. Then we have Sammy. He crashes out. Charlotte and Jade. Charlotte, Jade, Alexa Bliss, and B-Fab and Meechum. They kind of, like, Jade and them, they come out. Then Charlotte and Alexa come out. It sounds like there's real animosity here. Real animosity. But it's a tag match. Jade's going to sit and watch. They get beat up. They're about to lose. Jade attacks, right? Jade attacks, and they just beat him up for a little bit. But then it gets awkward. They beat up Alexa Bliss for a little bit, disqualification. And then Charlotte comes out and like, no, leave her alone. But at that point, it's just Charlotte. And then you have over here, Jade, Meechum, B-Fab. And then we cut to backstage. It's like, why wouldn't those three just attack Charlotte right then and there? It was 1 versus 3. 1v3 right there. And Charlotte's no Jacob Fatu. And then we cut back and it's like Alexa and Charlotte are like, where was Rhea? Why didn't she help us? Thought she was gonna, like, we were making an alliance. And then Alexa's like, I'm gonna go talk to something. And then it looks like we're gonna have the B-Fab Jade and Meechum versus versus Rhea, Charlotte, Alexa at Saturday night's main event. That screams SmackDown match. Like, I don't know why we're like, Trick Williams and Miz should have had that time on Saturday night's main event. Like, I'm sorry. Chelsea Green is really trying hard to be Tiffany's friend, and I kind of like that, but it makes Tiffany look like a real B-word, honestly, because she's just like, no, Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green is like pretty much begging to be her friend, and I think they should play this. They could play this right, because Chelsea Green could definitely has Sami Zayn bloodline vibes to her. And so I would like that. I actually would like that. Then we go to the main event, which is Gunther versus Royce Keys. This was a good match. I'm really happy that they're not giving Royce Keys necessarily the Obafemi treatment in that he just squashes guys. He's actually having wrestling matches. I love Obafemi, people. Some people come at me like, oh God, here we go, an Oba hater. And I'm like, have you even watched this channel? Like, I love Obafemi. People accuse me of being a Jade Cargill hater too. I'm like, have you watched this channel? Like, you can disagree with the character direction of somebody and still love them. And like Obafemi, I don't like that he's in just open challenge, and he's not allowed to wrestle. He's only squashing people. And Royce Keys got to wrestle. He actually got to wrestle. I think Gunther made him look really good, and I think it was interesting. I was like, this is a fresh matchup right here. The thing that I don't understand is that at one point Solo Sikoa comes out and he cheers on Royce Keys. Royce Keys, he's in a sleeper hold and he gets up and he fights out of it because of Solo. And Solo's like getting the crowd, come on, we got to support him. And at one point the referee goes down. And then Solo's like, here's a chair. Use it on him. And then Royce Key throws it at Solo Sikoa. But here's the deal. Solo Sikoa didn't deserve that in the context of this. Solo did nothing but try to help Royce in this situation. So why would Royce just flat out attack Solo? Yes, Solo did kind of threaten him early, but he never made good on the threat. He never did anything. That will then allow a distraction of Solo, though, for Gunther to attack Royce and then 1, 2, 3 pin. Glad he didn't sleeper him out. It was a powerbomb pin, and so, like, I don't know. No shame in losing to Gunther. I probably would have kept Royce undefeated a little longer. As long as Royce doesn't fall down the card now, this is fine. It's Gunther. Gunther tapped out John Cena, AJ Styles, Seth freaking Rollins, and some other guy. He retired 3 of them. Seth was just a WrestleMania match. So no shame in losing to Gunther. Just I don't know. The weird part is, why did Royce attack Solo right there? Of all the times to attack him. Why there? And that was pretty much SmackDown. Danhausen actually looks like he's trying to build a Frankenstein. Now, my gut reaction, is like, yeah, this is, oh God, here we go. This is going to be dumb. However, it's Danhausen, and right now, Danhausen has built up a lot of stock with me in that, even if it's dumb, I think it'll still work for Danhausen. And because, ever since his arrival, he has done things that my instant reaction is like, yeah, that's going to be stupid. And then it turns out to be hilarious. So at this point, I guess I'm highly anticipating Frankenstein, in WWE because Danhausen has built a lot of trust in me right now. So let's play it out. And if you guys and gals want, I just actually did a Danhausen video yesterday. So go watch yesterday's video. It talks about how Danhausen cursed an NBA team, the Knicks, and Stephen A. Smith. So go watch that right now after this one take, one shot review. Boys, girls, I'm going to give this there it is right there in the thumbnail. The video that I just talked about. I'm going to give this show Trick Williams, Royce Keys, and Gunther the best part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give it a... You know what? I'm feeling generous tonight. I'll just give it a 7. Oh, I forgot. I had to turn the camera back on. When Gunther won, he started screaming into the camera like this. And then Cody Rhodes actually grabbed him and gave him a crossroads. So that was actually really cool about Cody Rhodes, too. I appreciated that Cody didn't just, get on his bus and go home or drink some Wheatley vodka. No, he stayed and he attacked Gunther for all the disrespect that he's been giving him. And that's what you should do. As a WWE wrestler, you should always be trying to one-up your opponent. So I actually liked Cody Rhodes a lot tonight. All right, now we're done.